All right, here we go there. Monday the 20th something. Well, we headed to the barnyard. We headed home. It's still brisk out here. This will be Monday the 26th. And as of right now, it is 50 degrees. It be some brisk mornings going to the house. You hear me? Be a little chilly, as some folks would call it, chilly. I think it's supposed to be a good week all week, as far as weather goes. But I had something on my mind. Me and a buddy of mine was talking the other day, and he asked me, he said, how come you always leading rides and leading, groups when we go out of town to travel? And I thought about it for a second. I said, it's nothing that I seek out to do. I guess I just kind of migrated as leading the rides and stuff like that. But you got to be a good leader, in my opinion. To be a good leader, you have to be a great follower.
All right, y'all ready? Here we go. All right, baby, hey. Lappydog. And I'm gonna sing the song for you. It's Lappydog. You're gonna learn a thing or two. You're having fun now with me and all the gang. Learning from each other while we do our thing.
You have had to be a great follower to be a good leader. And what I mean by that is, shoot, man, I remember as a young man riding behind, Victor B. I always say that's my mentor, Victor B. and JR and Kendall, Dennis Eccles, those guys like that, Terry Whitted, rest in peace. Growing up riding with them guys and just mimicking them, just imitating what they did and what they do, has definitely, I know, has helped me as far as leading rides. And, I'm going to tell you something else, driving trucks. Excuse me. Driving trucks. Common sense is not so common, but driving these trucks, as I've developed a sense of traffic. Now, I ain't got no superhero powers or no spotty sense where I can see the future, or I got different warning signs that's built in differently than anybody else, but I do read traffic, and I pride myself on reading it very well. I know me and Hope, we'll talk about it. I had a buddy of mine, OG, he rode bikes with us for years. Don't know why in the world he wouldn't get his motorcycle license, but he never would get his motorcycle license. But I had bikes for years. And, he would fall behind the group so far. I guess that was his mechanism that he thought would protect him from the police. And better than I do, if they come at you, more than likely that last bike is going to get the one that's going to get jammed up. We call that the sacrificial lamb. Them boys doing some fishing. We call him the sacrificial lamb. Well, one day we was leaving Myrtle Beach down there doing a sport bike week. I said, gee, you're making it kind of hard on me to try to, look in that mirror and look back and make sure everybody's together when you so far behind. It just makes it difficult. He said, yeah, I know, Slap. I said, look, man. I said, you stay with us, and I'm going to use all of my 30 years experience. At that time, it might have been 20. I'm going to use my 20 years experience of driving these tractor trailers. I can't guarantee you we ain't going to get pulled over. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use all my experience to make sure we try not to get pulled over. He just kind of looked at me and said, all right, Slappy, I got you. And we come on down that damn road, and G was right there with us. You hear me? So with that being said is, just being a good leader, man, you had to be a great follower. Learn some stuff while you was learning, getting your teeth cut, having some fun. But I've developed some good skills off of those guys and driving trucks. And thank goodness to gracious, the good Lord above, we ain't never had anybody's been with me, we ain't never been pulled over by no police. And I've been in all 48 states. And some of them states, there was a lot of banjos being played. You know what I mean by banjos, right? And there was a lot of places where just by checking things out that we probably should not have been, if you catch my drift. They wouldn't really, just by the layout and how it looks, it didn't look too friendly to, let's just call it what it is, I know I listen to country music and everything. I'm not a racial person, but it didn't look too friendly for black folks. You understand what I'm saying? And what you mean by that? Man, you can just tell by the tone, by some of the flags they was flying, hello. And it just probably wouldn't, let's just say we probably don't need to be running around there at night. And hopefully some silly old somebody didn't come up and start no crap. Now, that's another thing that I've developed a sense about, because I live in East Tennessee. And I'm here to damn tell you, it's all over me. It's all over the place around here. So I ain't just talking about nobody else's area. I'm talking about my own backyard. There's some places in my own backyard where you would really kind of think twice about being around at night. And I had some incidents now. And some folks, say what they say, and you can handle it however you handle it. But the main thing is to get home. It's time to go home. And on the reverse side of that, I'm not even just talking about because I'm a black guy. That's my experience. But on the reverse side of that, I know there's some white folks that's been in some places like, maybe we took a wrong turn. Maybe we shouldn't have come down this street. I don't give a cotton picking where you at, man. Everybody's got places that will make them feel a little uncomfortable. And it all depends on how you handle it, and how you recognize it. You recognize it, then you take preparations to get on out of there. Because if you got your women, you got your friends riding with you, you don't want, poke your chest out there and be bad and act like you just 8 foot tall and bulletproof. You want to make good decisions to get your people on out there, and y'all get on home and y'all can talk about it and laugh about it, drink a beer about it, and be like, man, did y'all see what, that we was in a bad spot. Man, I done been in some black neighborhoods, me, and I feel nervous. I'm like, man, we need to get up out of here. Well, we went to California. We had stumbled up on South Central LA. And I'm here to damn tell you, I was ready to go. Look, man, we need to get the hell away from here, because It looked like something could daggum pop loose at any time, and I don't want to see it. I'd rather see it on TV. But anyway, back to what it is. You know, a lot of the guys that ride with me, man, they trust me, you know, to lead them properly and make some good decisions. Now, I ain't perfect now. I've made some bad ones, you know, or make one be like, damn, I should have done that. But I just goes with the, I just go with part of the ride, you know, something, especially when you going somewhere nobody knows the layout. You might miss a turn, you know, you might doggone, you know, should have went right when you went left. That's part of the adventure, you know, you figure things out. But, you know, I appreciate the guys, they trust me, you know, to lead them properly, you know, try to keep the crowd up. I was talking on the Lady Smooth interview, you know, she was saying, you know, trying to keep a tight formation, which, you know, that don't really bother me. Only time that I would really like for people to stay tight, you know, is like if we're in traffic, there's a lot of cars, you know, try to stay as close as you can. That way, you know, you ain't got cars jumping in and out of you, get you separated from your pack. But once we get out in the open road, man, hey, shit, I don't give a daggum if you're 2 or 3 bikes behind somebody, you know, you loosened up, you know, especially when you can enjoy the ride. If you're so close to somebody in stagger formation, we ride in stagger formation, but the worst thing you can do to me is pull beside me and try to ride next to me on the interstate. You want to get my daggum, you want to get my damn grits overcooked. Now you pull up beside me and do me like that, and I daggum almost try to kick you or some shit, cause I don't do that. But we ride a stagger formation, but you know, if we out there by ourselves, you know, the interstate is wide open and there's all kind of pretty things to look at, you know, you don't want to be sitting there trying to concentrate that hard on running stagger formation. Loosen up a little bit, enjoy your scenery, and enjoy the ride. Because you start getting too damn tight, you ain't looking at what's going on around you. You really concentrating hard on trying to keep your line, you know, keep stagger formation, and vice versa. So I'm not a real big stickler on keeping it so tight you can't even breathe, you know. And I like to be able to look in my mirror, and if I need to make a decision real quick, especially me pulling my trailer, that I know I'm not going to daggum, you know, get over there and hit you, you know, hit the person beside me or the one that stagger with me, because they too damn tight. I don't like to be second guessing myself when it comes to making a decision like that. But when we went to California, we had 13 motorcycles. We had 13 motorcycles. I think we had about at least 4 that was 2 up. And we went on across there, man, and we met some people from Louisville. My buddy D. Porter. My man D. Porter had some of the Louisville boys. And we got with them, and we had never rode with those guys before. And we met them in Nashville. So that was the first day. I guess about that first day, it took us a while to get things lined up, being that we had never rode with those guys before. But once we got, you know, everybody got familiar with each other's style. And, you know, by day 3, we kind of fell in sync. You know, especially when you're dealing with grown folks. There was one old jackass I had to kind of give a little talking to. He said, Slappy, why you keep speeding up, slowing down? Why you keep speeding up, slowing down? I said, buddy, let me tell you something. I ain't speeding up and slowing down. I said, when you got in beside me, you see me with my left hand on the handlebar and my right hand was on my hip, right? He said, yeah. I said, so that right there should have told you that I got my cruise control locked down on 80 miles an hour. So you're number 2. If anybody is speeding up and slowing down, then it's you. It ain't me. And if you're going to do that, I wish you would get towards the back of the line. because you got us broke up a whole country mile. You had 13 bikes spread out damn near half a mile. It was ridiculous. But after I had a little talk with him, you know, he kind of straightened on out. But it seems like sometimes I have a little bit of problem with bike riders that are military or used to be military, especially if they was a sergeant or held some kind of position. They're so used to giving orders, they're not used to really following. Maybe I should say giving orders, because I'm definitely not giving no orders. But they're definitely not used to following someone. They're used to someone following them. So they'll kind of get into a challenge. You know, they try to challenge you a little bit. And like I said before in some of them other videos, I don't get in no challenge with nobody. I don't, you got one shot at it when you ride with me, you know. You mess that shot up, don't look to get no text message from me talking about no road trip, especially when you done made my last trip miserable. So, me and him had a little heart-to-heart there and got some things straightened out. But needless to say, he hadn't rode nowhere with me since. You hear me? So, you know I kind of got a little off topic and went around the damn ring around the rosy, if you will. But to be a good leader, you got to be a great follower and have those skills. Just because you got a bike and you know which way to go, that don't mean you can damn sit there and snatch and jerk and all that kind of stuff. And you know, somebody that's leading a group, you know, you can't be running in and out of traffic like a wild banshee, unless that's the group of folks you riding with. You know, if you riding with a bunch of sport bike guys, y'all like to snatch and go in and out of cars. I mean, that's fine and dandy, do it big, you know. But you know, when you're traveling and touring, you know, you ain't really out for the short thrill. You out for the long haul. There was something else I was gonna touch on as I go home. Oh, and definitely, you kind of want to, you know, play on your gas. Whoever's the weak link on your fuel hand. I know Woodrow on that Can-Am 2012 Can-Am RT Spider. He's the weak link. So I usually set my odometer, and when it hits about 130 miles, I'm starting to look for gas. Or if I'm looking at my gas hand and it gets around right below a half, he's about needing some gas. So all those things, you know, riding with people, you know, you get familiar with their riding styles and their motorcycles. So I usually play against the weak link on fuel, and I don't mind stopping for fuel, especially get off and stretch your legs, especially when I like you. It's definitely a lot easier if everybody's got the same range of fuel, because there's a few times we tried to get off and he would need some gas pretty bad, and we was in trouble. There was no gas to be had. That's why I carried 2 gas tanks, 2 gas cans with me from now on, because we're not going to do that no more, because that was terrible. Now, he does carry gas with him. We have learned to carry gas, but that day we was in California, man. Every time we stopped, we was on Interstate 90 coming out of Montana, going towards North Dakota. Man, every exit, no service, no services, no services. I said, Lord have mercy. I know he was low. He had already used his gas can that he had on reserve. And me and Hambone was damn dangerously low. I mean, that's the first time I ever seen my GoldWing low fuel light come on. I said, oh, I had never seen that. Didn't even know we had one, but it sure was on, and it was getting redder and redder. But I had a gallon of gas in my side bag, just 1 gallon I carried. And then I looked back and I seen Woody on the shoulder. So I had to get off on the shoulder and turn around and go back and give him my 1 gallon of gas. So, you know, if I run out of gas, I'm in trouble. But he was down right there, so I gave him my gallon. It just so happened about 4 miles up the road, there was a gas, exit that said services. But you had to get off on the exit, make a left, and go about 3 miles in town before you could even get gas. And it was shaky looking. That daggum gas station looked terrible. But that was the best gas stop we made, because I'm telling you, you get out west sometimes, you better make sure you got you some gas at your fingertips. And it's almost self-preservation. Every man for himself. Come on. Well, all right, y'all. Remember this. If you're going to lead, make sure you're a great follower. I'm on the road headed to the barnyard. All right.
Hey, stay tuned for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.